Hello fellow makers and welcome back to 3D Printed Soup. This week we're supposed to be looking at ABS 3D printer filament. Unfortunately the printer I have, which is capable of printing ABS well, has died. Its hot end has exploded and I'm going to have to replace it. Video on how to do that later on this week, I feel. So I've decided to try a different filament on my Bamboo Labs printer and I have decided to choose PLA Plus. Now PLA is polylactic acid, but what is PLA Plus? PLA is polylactic acid with a few extra bits added in. Why do they have extra bits in and what these bits are? Now that's the confusing thing. They don't say exactly what they add into it because each one is different. They're all sort of bespoke depending on the company you go for. I'm going for Elegoo because I quite like their 3D printing resin and I quite like their 3D printing filament. And the reason they add bits in is it adds extra properties to it. Now, usual PLA is a biofilament. It's a bioplastic. It's made out of really nice, useful stuff like cornstarch and corn husks and all the kind of bits and pieces you have left over from farming. So it's quite friendly in that sense, although don't get the impression that it's fully recyclable because it really isn't. If you want to recycle it, you need to find a special place and you need to check with your local council whether they do that kind of recycling. If not, there's some actually fully recyclable 3D printer filament available, and I'm going to look at that later on this month. But PLA Plus, the ingredients they put into it increase, one, its temperature resistance, and two, its mechanical resistance. It's a lot tougher, a lot stronger, got a bit more bend to it. PLA is quite brittle, but PLA Plus gets rid of that, so it's a very, very good thing to print if you're doing prototyping and you don't want to get into the whole ABS thing because of the extra heat and the extra chemicals and just the smell. So yeah, this week, PLA Plus. I got a nice wood-coloured one because I think that kind of suits what it's made out of. And we're going to print ourselves a marble run because it's got to be smooth. It has to be quite well designed and it has to be tough because you're running a metal ball bearing down it. I don't use marbles, I use metal ball bearings because I'm hardcore. Right, before we do that however, thanks to everyone who's liked and subscribed. If you haven't, grab your marble, send it down the marble run into the home, which is the subscribe button. Ba-dung. Welcome to the marble one, which is 3D printed soup. Please don't put more than 3 balls down my chute at the same time. Right, let's get on and print ourselves a marble run and see how PLA Plus stands up to the rigours of ball bearings. Let's get on with this and give it a try. Okay, before we go into the actual demonstrating how the print went, let's have a quick look and see what actual PLA Plus is and why you might use it and what its benefits are. As you can see, I got the regular PLA Plus here. It is 1.75 millimeters in diameter, which is your usual 3D printer filament size. And I've got the kilogram roll. Print temperature, it prints between sort of 205 and 230. Personally, I do about halfway, I do about 215 myself. And I did the bed at about 70 degrees. And as the marble run, I chose to get this nice sort of wood effect one because you remember the old marble runs you had when you were a kid? They were always made out of wood. Now, what actually is PLA Plus? PLA Plus is a sort of modified version of the standard polylactic acid PLA, but it's got some extra bits in it to enhance it. It's got some additives put in there, and yeah, it's really, really good for sort of mechanical properties, such as it bends a little more than PLA without breaking. It's a lot stronger. It's much less brittle, and it's tougher, and it's really, really durable. So yeah, you can use it for sort of prototyping and things that might get bashed around a bit, like sort of like if you're printing, say, a marble run with this, or you're printing something which basically might be knocked over, or just something you don't want to break when you drop it. It generally offers better impact resistance, so say if you print a vase, you drop it, it's much less likely to shatter. And its tensile strength is much greater than PLA. So if you're going to basically try bending it or got something basically that needs to be bent or moved slightly, like when you print the things which have clips on them, or they something that clips into another part, they're much less likely to snap and become weak over time, which is quite cool. It makes PLA better for sort of functional parts with the extra strength, which is always useful. Now, key characteristics I'd say with this is it's got enhanced durability, improved strength, aesthetic improvement. It's often a lot smoother as well. And yeah, this has come out very, very nicely. And you'll see later on that this marble run comes out much smoother. It would have done with regular PLA. It's slightly more heat resistant. I mean, so if you're going to do something where basically it's next to a motor, or it's in a print where it might get a little bit hotter, like you've got some components next to it, it's a lot less likely to melt than, say, standard PLA. When it comes to actually printing it as well, it's very much easy to use, much like PLA itself. Doesn't require any kind of enclosure either, or any special bed adhesion, so you shouldn't have to put glue on your bed. It should just print out if you've got your bed sort of between 60 and 70 degrees and not pop off, which is really, really cool. It's slightly more expensive than your regular PLA, but if you shop around, I'm sure you'll be able to find it for a good price, and say it's a lot less expensive than ABS, PETG or TUP. Okay, to summarise, I'd say, yeah, if you're after a smoother finish, you want it to be tougher, stronger, more heat resistant, and take a bit more of a beating, then yeah, PLA Plus is most definitely your filament of choice, because it meets all of those and doesn't require any special heating or any sort of change up to your print regime. Now let's have a look and see how this lovely marble run went, and is it as good as I think it'll be? Okay, that was beautifully smooth, and I do love a nice marble run. There's just something very satisfying about dropping a ball bearing down a marble run and watching it go to the end. So yeah, I'm very impressed with PLA Plus. It's got a lovely smooth marble run down it. Very few layer lines. I mean, that is smooth. And this wasn't done on high quality. It was just done on your regular print. So on high quality, I imagine it's going to be absolutely beautiful. It's tough, it's rigid. I mean, these bits here are pretty much not breaking, they're just bendy. And when you run a ball bearing down it a couple of hundred times, doesn't do a lot of damage. Whereas if you did that PLA, I imagine it would start wearing it out and breaking bits off it, especially if you dropped it, like I'm going to do now. Yep, not a crack to it. So yeah, it's tough, it's smooth, it's got the temperature printing of PLA, but it's got the strength of sort of PETG or ABS. Kind of. I think PETG and ABS may beat it slightly, but I was going to say, for the price, because it's a lot cheaper than reels of ABS and PETG, a bit more expensive than PLA though. That's in general. Have a dig around on Amazon and other places. I'm sure you'll find it for fairly cheap. And yeah, very, very impressed with this. And I think my daughter's going to really enjoy the larger version I'm going to print for. I'm going to print a bigger version, I think. You can run actual marbles down. But this was a very good test print. And it's come out very, very nicely. So yeah, PLA Plus. It's a plus from me. Thanks for watching 3D Printed Soup. Stay happy and safe. Next week, I promise, ABS. But later in the week, how to fix your hot end on your Elegoo carbon Centuri. Because, yeah, that just died. Stay happy and safe. Keep marble running.